Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. It's Lean Driver once again, coming to you with another watch unboxing and review video. This is yet another watch that has been loaned into the channel. This is not a sponsored video. I want to point that out right away. This watch was delivered to me by the manufacturer itself, which is, how do we pronounce this? Feynman, F-E-Y-N-M-A-N, Feynman. I've done a review of their Eclipse model previously. And they were generous enough to, well, first they promised me when I did that video I would be getting another watch from them, and that has now happened. This arrived recently. A Feynman Cove watch. This is their diver watch. And yes, the crown is unscrewed, so don't yell. This watch is the prototype of the watch that is going to be for sale very soon. I believe it will be available on Kickstarter, and there will be some changes from this watch to the production watch. Not too many. But a few. But from the experience I've had with working with this watch and wearing it for a few days and having a chance to get to know it, in my opinion, this watch is ready to go right now. This is a very nice piece. I really enjoyed this watch. I enjoyed the other one too, the Eclipse, but this Cove watch is definitely a good-looking piece. It has some heft to it. Even the rubber strap, which you folks know I don't favor rubber straps very much. This one is very, very comfortable. Even comes with a signed buckle, as you can see. Quick releases, which is really nice if you are of a mind to change them like I would be. I would probably, even though I like this rubber strap, I would probably still put it on a leather because I don't dive with my dive watches. So, but really a nice watch. Now, one difference you might notice between the Eclipse and the Cove is the second crown up here. This second crown is also a screw-down crown. I'll unscrew it real quick, and as you can see, it moves the dive bezel. It's bidirectional. This is probably right here the one little problem I have with the watch. I mean, not that it won't line up with the minute hand, as you can see, it lines up beautifully. But watch what happens when you go to screw that crown down. I'll get it lined up really well. You screw it down. And, well, of course, it didn't do it for me that time, but you see it moved fractionally. But it unscrews very easy, and then you can line it up with the 12 right there. Get it as close as you can and screw it down, and you see it moves. You see it move there. It moved to the left. And then when you unscrew it, it can move immediately. I mean, it's very movable, and you can't really engage the threads to get it to line up perfectly. So if you maybe bring it a little bit before and then screw it down, and you see it lines up, well, no, it doesn't. So this would make me crazy. You know, it would make me crazy enough to where I wouldn't use it as a timer or anything like that. And as a diver, that would really be kind of an issue. You know, if it was going to move while you're trying to line that minute hand up, line the arrow up with the minute hand. See, I can't get it to work now, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Yeah, just scramble it so it really makes me crazy. Well, other than that, it's really a nice design. I love the second hand as kind of a, I don't know, you call it a dog leg, you call it a curved second hand, call it whatever you want, really. But it's really a unique looking piece. And of course, it is very similar to the Eclipse. In fact, the main differences between the Eclipse and the Cove that I've seen is the second crown and the dive bezel versus the Eclipse being a dress watch. I love this little touch here with the little company logo. Instead of being up here, it's on a little kind of a standalone placard down here at the four or five o'clock area. It's a nicely decorated movement. I love the blue on the rotor. It's nicely knurled crowns. I really like that. Of course, it's as you can see, it is a hackable movement. As you can see, the second hand is stopped. It does everything well except for this part, which really bothers me. Huh. Almost. I'm going to leave it alone now. So I'm going to go over some things with my 2 sheets of facts because there's a little bit more to it than just the normal facts. As I said, this is the Feynman Cove Kickstarter dive watch. I will leave a link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description, and I'll leave a link to the website as well for Feynman. As I said, this is a prototype, but the production watch will use the ETA 2895-2 movement. That's very similar to the 2824 movement, except of course you have the small second-hand subdial. 50-hour power reserve. It's a 40 millimeter case, but it does wear a little bit bigger than 40 millimeter. I should give you that wrist shot before I go too much further, because this watch wears very well. It wears bigger than 40 millimeters. I like that personally because 40 millimeters is a little on the low side for me, but you have those extended lugs, as you can see. It wears beautifully. I was wearing this all day yesterday, and it it's there, but yet it disappears nicely in terms of comfort and weight. It's just a very comfortable watch, and that's saying something considering I don't like rubber straps. I found a rubber strap that I actually can tolerate. This is a 13.2 millimeter thick watch. However, I'll go over that in a little more detail in a second. It's a 44 millimeter tip to tip, 20 millimeter lug with, as I pointed out earlier, the quick release, at least on the factor strap. 200 meter water resistance, so it is a diveable watch. Sapphire crystals front and rear, and the internal bidirectional bezel, which I'm not thrilled with, but that's just me. Now, there will be some changes between this prototype and the production, according to the company. They sent me this documentation directly. Now, these can also change as well, but for now, we'll take it as gospel. They say the crowns will be bigger. They are a little on the small side, but they aren't terrible. But if you're wearing, say, diving gloves or something like that, you might want bigger crowns. And they're going to change the crown design. They wouldn't say what they're going to change it to, but they are going to change the design. I personally like the crown design. I think maybe either go with both of them signed or both of them blank. I don't think one signed, one blank is a good look, but that's just me. They promise more and longer lasting loom than is currently on this prototype. And they also say that due to better manufacturing techniques and a couple of other minor changes, this watch will be thinner. In production, it will be 12.8 millimeter thick instead of 13.2 millimeter thick, which is what this is. That means a 0.4 millimeter thinner watch. Also, on the subdial, they say that there will be Chinese characters at the 60-second and the 30-second mark, which I guess are not currently there, which would make that very similar to the Feynman Eclipse, which has those kind of characters at the 60-second and 30-second marks. So not any earth-shattering changes, but a few changes between what we're looking at here and what we're looking at in production. I love the way the segmented blue part of the dial really pops nicely in the light, and of course you have that black dial, internal part here in the black subdial with their varying patterns. Really makes a very nice effect overall for the watch. I mean, it's very interesting, very unique look. You're not going to see this, coming around the corner on anybody's wrist. This is something that when you buy it, it's going to be something that you won't see every day, and I think that's a good thing. I like the way they've cut little recesses in the strap, at least on that side. It aids in venting. It gives a little airspace between your wrist and the rubber strap, so it helps to vent heat and keep the wrist sweat to a minimum. Nice little touches like that are things that you should look for when you're buying a watch. No matter if it's a Feynman or Rolex or anything in between, even Seiko. So I definitely like this watch. I enjoyed wearing it. I'm going to be really sorry to send it wherever it's going next. I don't know where it's going to go next, but I don't think they're going to let me keep it. They probably want it back. But I definitely give this a strong recommend for something if you're interested in a diving style watch that could also nicely double as a dressier watch. I mean, with that sloped crystal, this will definitely slide very nicely under a cuff. And it's going to be thinner in production, so it's going to be even easier to slide under, say, a dress shirt or something like that. This could definitely be a business setting watch, or maybe even a going out to dinner watch. I don't think you'll want to take this to a 5-star dinner party or anything like that, where everyone's flexing their money. But anything short of that, I think this watch is definitely versatile enough to do multiple roles. So definitely a strong recommend from me on this watch. So I'm just going to wrap the video with my normal spiel. Now that I've said that I've liked the watch. I mean, there's nothing really more to say beyond that. So if you like the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. That does help the channel. It makes the channel more searchable, and the algorithms like me more if you like the videos more. Questions, comments, suggestions down below. I read them all. I respond to them all. However, if you're overly negative, overly nasty, or otherwise trolling, I'll just delete your comment and I'll block you. And if you're new to the channel, or you've been here a little while, you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. My channel's growing. I really appreciate all my subscribers, and I always are looking to add new ones. So please click the subscribe button and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so that when I upload new content, you're alerted. I appreciate you guys stopping by and taking a look at this video. Hopefully you see something you like. Maybe go check out the Kickstarter campaign, see if it's something you can afford to do, and support them. They're doing they're making some good pieces. I've reviewed both their pieces, and I think they're worth supporting them. And micro brands overall, definitely something worth supporting. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good rest of the day.